Can I paint you a picture? It's the middle of the night. Your house is quiet. Everyone is asleep. Your body's tired, genuinely like bone deep tired, and your brain is absolutely completely 100% wide awake. It has happened to me so many times. And it's just not awake. It keeps busy, ruminating through the conversations you had earlier, replaying something somebody said, rehearsing what you're going to say tomorrow, next week, in a scenario that may not even happen, or working through the problem, scenario after scenario, trying to find the right answer so you can finally relax. It happens to me. And this has been happening when I'm really like when my nervous system is overloaded. I cannot even count the number of nights that I've laid awake logically knowing that my body needs sleep. And then nothing productive really was happening. And end of the day or like end of the night, I'm still exhausted. And still my brain wouldn't stop. If you've experienced this, I want to start by saying you're not weak. You're not overly anxious. You're not doing something wrong. What is happening in your mind at that 2 a.m. is not, that's not a character flaw. It is just your nervous system. So today I want to help you understand exactly why it does this. Because once you understand it, something shifts. That shames, that questioning lifts off. And you can start working with your brain instead of fighting it. That's actually the key to this whole video and the solution. So rumination is not the same as thinking. We all think, we all problem solve. That's normal and healthy. Rumination is when your mind gets stuck in a loop. You're not moving towards a solution. You're not cycling through the same thoughts, the same worries, the same scenarios over and over again. It's like a washing machine that keeps running the same cycle without ever finishing. It keeps going and going and going. So researchers actually distinguish between two types. Reflective rumination, where we visit the past, replaying what happened, and what should we have done differently. And then anticipatory rumination, where we rehearse the future, running through potential scenarios in preparation, what might go wrong. And I experience both. Many of my clients experience both, and most of us do both, often in the same night. It's flip-flopping, right? So here's what's happening neurologically. Your brain has a threat detection system, the amygdala, that is extremely, extremely good at its job. It's doing it amazingly. And when it perceives any kind of unresolved problem, it flags it as potentially dangerous and keeps your attention to it. The prefrontal cortex, the rational planning part of your brain, tries to solve the problem to make the alarm stop. But if the problem cannot be stopped, or if the solution is uncertain, the amygdala just keeps reflagging it. So your brain is not, it's not malfunctioning. It's just trying to keep you safe. It's doing it in a way that it's exhausting and counterproductive, but in a way it's designed to do. So here's the connection to the chronic pain that most of us miss. Rumination keeps the nervous system in a state of chronic activation. So the same threat response that keeps you lying awake at night is the same threat response that synthesizes the pain system. And a nervous system that can settle at night is a nervous system that can settle during the day either. And a nervous system that can settle is a nervous system that's primed to amplify pain signals. So what can we actually do about it? So the first thing, and that's going to sound deceptively simple, super simple, is to actually stop fighting it. When we resist rumination, when we get frustrated at ourselves for not sleeping, when we add shame on top of the sleeplessness, we add more nervous system activation on top of what's already there. And then our brain interprets our frustration as more evidence that something is wrong. So instead of we practice acknowledgement, my brain is doing the thing again. It's trying to keep me safe. I don't need to solve this right now. And this simple reframe starts to shift the nervous system relationship with that thought loop. And believe me, it works. I've tried it. My clients tried it. And then we also work with the body. So long exhales activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest branch that your brain and body desperately wants to switch into. So even 5 minutes of slow breathing, I love Buteyko retraining for this. Longer exhale than inhale signals safety to the nervous system. And we use our mouth for both breathing in and breathing out. And over time, we repattern those patterns of rumination. So, in terms of the beliefs that are driving the rumination, on the emotional experiences that haven't been processed, we do the work on those too, because often the brains kept ruminating on something, not because it needs to be solved intellectually, but because it needs to be felt. So this emotional work adds component to it. Otherwise, it may just keep coming back, right? So let me know if you have any questions. This video is not necessarily about the emotional processing. This is quick in terms of what it happens in the moment, but both that reframe and the breathing, I use it anytime my nervous system is in that state. It's not, it's no longer as often as it was when I was healing, but it's still a pattern that shows up every once in a while. If you want to see a video about the emotional processing, let me know in the comments below, and that will be my next one to record for you.